The gaming market has been blessed with roguelike and deck building games these past few years, and Blackjacket, the new blackjack gambling deck builder straight from hell, is the latest newcomer to the party. Being a casual fan of Balatro and dabbling in other deck builders like Slay the Spire, I was interested to see if this game would hold my interest, or if it would fade into obscurity. Let's talk about my first impressions of Blackjacket and if it might be worth your time.
But you'll need coin. Lots of it.
First and most importantly, the gameplay. Where games like Balatro and Clover Pit have you playing against a set goal or quota, Blackjacket pits a player and an enemy against each other in a game of blackjack. The rules are basically the same. Get as close to 21 as possible without going over. There are a few differences in rules, such as the highest card deeming the winner if both hands tie, and similar rules like blackjack always winning against a normal 21. Where Blackjacket adds complexity is in the positioning, card types, betting, and hiding cards in your sleeve. I'll give a quick overview on each, but just know that there's a large skill ceiling for the players to learn and exploit. First, the basis of all the other mechanics is positioning. Starting the game, players are only allowed to play cards in 5 slots to reach 21. This means that if cards are played in all slots, the player cannot continue and must pass. The 2 rightmost slots also have special effects that change every encounter, but require the player to bet more to play on and activate. The cards. Each card can have special properties attached to it similar to Balatro's glass or gold cards. There are some that can be played on any card, but others that are unique to each suit. For example, a card can be hollow, which means it can be played on top of, whereas only clovers can have the effect of draining the value of other cards. Cards that you start with or buy without effects can be awakened at encounters or shops similarly to other deck builders. Betting. Each player has a certain amount of coins to start and must ante in to play the round. If you have no cards to ante, you lose. You will regain the coins that you ante and use throughout the round if you win, but losing puts them in the winner's pot. This introduces decision making, where you must decide if you want to wager your coins by activating effects or hiding cards in your sleeve. That means that you are essentially using your health as a resource, and I quite like this mechanic, as it means your health naturally regenerates after winning and removes traditional healing spots on the map. The replacements are the encounters that give you coins, but it feels much more streamlined and impactful when, as an example, you're using your own health to purchase items when your winner's pot is lacking in funds. Sleeving. You can hide cards in your sleeves in a very moral fashion in this game. If you draw a card that you want to save for later, just put it at the bottom of your screen for a price. Thus, the game allows you to cheat by passing after sleeving a card, meaning that something that might have put you over 21 can simply be put away later. However, the price of sleeving will increase with every card sleeved as a trade-off. In between encounters, you have your typical map-like structure for roguelikes, with options to get gold for free, cards for free, or a shop to purchase items that you want. Overall, I would say the gameplay is simple enough to pick up for the first time, but by the time you reach the first boss, which is randomized among the unique devils, you will be reeling at the amount of decisions that you could make dealing with their own unique and challenging mechanics. I lost to the first boss like twice before finally prevailing, and it was satisfying. For some reason, it felt more like you're playing buckshot roulette than Balatro, as gambling with death against another opponent just feels like a new spin on the genre. From the very start of your first run, you'll notice something special about Blackjacket. It sets up something that many other roguelike games either don't have at all or seem secondary to the gameplay: a story. Blackjacket rewards beating each boss with a memory, something that expands on the lore of said boss, the setting, and perhaps even of the player character himself. The art style is quite simple, but delivers on the atmosphere of hell perfectly. Slightly worn, messy, and something off that you just can't put your finger on. To me, it feels something reminiscent of something like Inscription with its rugged aesthetic, complemented by beautiful ambiance and sound design. What surprised me the most was the phenomenal voice acting.
Welcome back. How have you been doing so far? Was little Niv being a brat? Well, whoever it was, don't let it get to you.
I'm not sure I can name another deck builder I've played with spoken voice lines, but the enemies in Blackjacket knock it out of the park and further add to the atmosphere. Those were my first impressions of Blackjacket. A few hours in, I had unlocked upgrades to my coin stash, sleeve size, and a deck or two, but the progression doesn't seem to be as robust as something like Balatro. I know I've made some comparisons between the two over this video, but I truly believe that Blackjacket brings something fresh and exciting to the table. I'd confidently give it an 8.5 out of 10 with what I've seen so far. There are some very interesting mechanics and a beautiful atmosphere, but I'm not sure how much replayability there is beyond the main story, which seems to be beating each boss 6 times. Is it for everyone? Probably not, but people who enjoy other deck builder roguelikes are sure to enjoy this one. Of course, these opinions could change as I play more, but these are my first impressions. Thanks for watching, God bless, and be safe.
In the distance, the ferryman awaits you. For a price, he might take you back to the life you were robbed of.